Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and this is the Galaxy S10 Plus. I've been using it a little bit over a week, and I have a lot of good things to say about it and a few bad things. So I thought we'd go over the good and the bad, or positives and negatives. And before we continue, this whole video is being recorded with a Galaxy S10. It has the same forward-facing camera as this, so it gives you an idea of what the quality is like. It's also in 4K, and also I'm not using an external microphone, so that gives you an idea of the sound quality as well. I think it's quite good without that external mic. So let's get started and talk about the first thing. Now, the first good thing is the design. This design is a refinement of the S8 and S9, and I think it's really good. The edges are nice and thin. It feels very good in the hand, especially if you're not using a case. The glass front and back make it feel very premium, and I think it's just a really great phone overall as far as holding it in your hands. It's a good size. It's not too big, it's not too small, and especially if you're not using a case, it just feels very, very premium. Now, the next good thing is the display. This display is easily the best display on the market. It's high resolution, high pixel density, and also just looks great in sunlight. You can see it in direct sunlight. It's super bright, and I think it's easily the best display. Now, it makes sense since Samsung supplies its displays to companies like Apple and other companies, so it makes sense that they'd save the best for themselves. And I think most people that look at it will be really impressed. Also, the little Infinity O at the top, I don't mind. I think it looks kind of different and unique, so it gives you more of the display, and overall, I just think it looks really, really good. Now, the next good thing is the camera. Now, we've already talked about the forward-facing camera. I'm using it right now, so you get an idea of what that looks like. But the rear-facing camera is quite good. While I wouldn't say it's an improvement over the previous generation of rear-facing cameras, we do get that ultra-wide sensor, which is about 13 millimeters or so, and looks really good. You do get a little bit of distortion because it is so wide. It's almost a fisheye effect at times, but overall, it's great to have that option. Also, video recording is obviously quite nice. Now, the S10 Plus camera is stabilized, so as I walk along here, it does an okay job. If I zoom in, you'll see that it's not as stable. It's kind of all over the place. But if I go wide, because it's such a wide shot, it looks nice and stable. So you'll see you can get a pretty nice video out of this, even if you're moving. Now, the next good thing is the battery. The battery is a 4100 milliamp hour battery. It easily lasts about a day and a half for most people, maybe even 2 days, depending on how you use it. How I use it, it easily gets me through a day. By the end of the night, I'm at 50% or so. So there's 50% remaining after I've used it all day long. I've used it just like any of my other phones, and it easily gets me through the day. And then, of course, you can charge it wirelessly, fast charging it, or just plug in the bottom, and it charges pretty quickly as well. The next good thing is the speed. The speed of this with the Snapdragon 855 in it and its large amount of RAM, depending on which storage option you have, I don't think you're going to have an issue with either one. I have had zero slowdown, and for Android phones that I've used in the past, that's not the case. This one, I've had no slowdowns, and for Samsung, that's kind of a thing that seems to happen over time, but so far, it's really good and very fast in all situations. You want to get to the camera quick, you can get to the camera. You want to go back and multitask, whatever you want to do, it's very, very fast. The next good thing is wireless power share. You just turn an option on and you can share your power from your phone to Galaxy Buds to charge your headphones, or to, say, an iPhone or a different phone that might need a little bit of extra juice. Of course, you are going to drain your battery quite a bit, and I would only recommend it really for the Galaxy Buds. It seems to be the best case scenario as far as that goes. The first bad thing for me has to be the fingerprint sensor. After I received this, I was excited to try it out, and it does work. It just doesn't work consistently over and over. It'll say no match. I'll try again. And about 1 out of every 3 times it will work. That was 4 times. And some people were saying you need to push your thumb down quicker and then release it faster. It actually tells me to keep your thumb on there longer. Other times it will say press harder. So you can try all these different ways. I've re-added my fingerprints, I've tried both hands, and you do get used to it over time, but I find the speed of unlock to be inconsistent, and also they did push an update that helped it quite a bit. So I'd say about 1 in 3 times or so it works. See there, it was no match. And 1 in 3 times it works, other times it doesn't. So I think it's a great idea, but if you have that in combination with the less secure face unlock, it's super fast. So it just depends if you can get used to that or not. The next bad thing for me is price. The price is $1,000, basically around $1,000. And while you do get a lot for your money compared to some other phones, it's still a really expensive phone. So it's a big investment. And if you're coming from an S9 Plus, I don't know if it's worth the upgrade. But if you're coming maybe from an S7 or an S8, then it probably is. It just depends on what your budget is. But I'd like to see phones come down closer to maybe what OnePlus is doing. They're offering a lot for a little bit less money. And I would love to see that trend reverse, although we probably won't. But either way, you do get a lot for your money in this particular device. The last bad thing for me is privacy. Now, privacy is not necessarily a bad thing in general with Samsung, but their privacy policy does say that they do share that information with a lot of people. I'll link it in the description so you can check it out. And one of the weird things is Facebook is installed by default on this phone and you can't remove it, not without doing some other things like rooting it or things like that. So it's there, you can't remove it, and the privacy part is a little bit concerning with not just Google having your information, but also Samsung as well. So it depends on your trust level there. And like I said, read their privacy policy. It's kind of interesting if you read the first few paragraphs and things like that about sharing. That's it for the bad for this phone. There's not a whole lot bad to say about it, quite honestly. There are a couple more positive things like the speakers, and also reception seems to be really good. We've got our little transfer, USB-A to USB-C. We've got our cable here. This is USB-A to USB-C. You can see it through here. So let me know if you have any other questions or comments about this in the comments below. I think it's a great phone. If you have an older Samsung or you have an older Android phone and you're looking to upgrade, I think you'll be pretty happy with this. But let me know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If not, the other one's okay too. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.